Hello everyone, my name's Cannon. This is a look at my project for Des 350. If you remember, this is a tool I'm calling the Playback interface. It's a tool for reloading and recreating level design moments for rapid play testing and just running back ideas and making sure they work. And here's a look at how this feature works in motion. If we press play on the scene, Um, it looks normal, like the way your scene might normally look, but if we press tab, we open up this menu here, and I'll go full screen for a moment. Um, from this menu, we can do a couple different things, and I'll demonstrate first by making a save state. Um, so if I leave, walk around, let's say I start shooting at some enemies, make them move after me, cubes and whatnot. If I open up this interface, I can go ahead and load that state and we're right back where we started. Um, just like nothing has happened. Um, as you see, it's not perfect, but um, just like nothing has happened. We can also shoot stuff and make things move around in different ways. And what if maybe I don't want to just load that moment, but maybe I want to stay where I'm at and just move the enemies back to where they're supposed to be? Or maybe I want to um, move the interactable things where they're supposed to be. Or maybe I actually just want to go back to the previous state. You can do all those things in any order here. Um, so I can load those. I can go back to the way they were. It's a pretty fluid system. Let's say as well that maybe I'm testing something and I'm gonna pull up the player just to show this variable for a moment. Um, I see my current health value down here. Maybe I'm playtesting something and I just want to tank some damage for a little bit. Well, we can go ahead and do that in live gameplay too. We can crank up the value of our player health to something beyond what it's meant to be, and we can live through some scenarios that maybe we're not meant to a little bit longer, as you can see. Um, and then, of course, well, what if I die while I'm testing and whatnot, but I don't want to end the thing? Let's just load back to a previous state and we're right back to where we were. Um, Alternatively, maybe I don't want to take damage. We can go ahead and lock that value, and it'll actually never change um, during the thing. And if we decide, okay, well now I want to take some damage, we go ahead and unlock that value. We're right back in the case. Um, so that's some of the things that my tool can do. Um, Taking a look at the code, the majority of this lives inside of this class right here. Um, this uses SSS and UXML for the interface. But it works inside of a mono behavior class. I'd worked on an iteration of this that used uh, the editor type and whatnot, but I had some issues learning reflection. And when I realized I wanted this to be an over the gameplay interface to keep you working on the project, I ended up learning the way that UI Toolkit works as a UI tool as well, for heads-up display and menus, and that's the version of this I'm using here. Um, Same concepts that we've learned in class, declaring what variables the different buttons and whatnot from that interface are, and then calling events from them. Um, and that goes down the list of everything I have on there. Um, and then making them do the various things that they do. We freeze time and whatnot. We move the cursor and whatnot to open up the interface and move back out of it. All the different things that saving involves for the player, for interactables, for enemies, and these just find objects that are tagged in a certain way, um, and we'll add them to the list. So you could add another anything to the scene, and if I wanted to go into like a prefabs folder and drop some more cubes in here, maybe drop another enemy in here, I certainly could, and it would work for them as well. Just to show that real quick. See, um, there is some code involved on various other classes, and that's what I've got on the side here. And that's maybe what prevents it from being the most scalable solution, but it does work. Um, what does it mean, or how am I keeping track of like health and transform locations and whatnot. That is handled within the class of the various things themselves. It's not a lot of code, but there are some functions being called within each class to keep this working. So that's all that's going on there. Um, that's how my tool works. Quickly, I'll show as well source control. Um, I use SVN for this project. As you can see, it's a version to project. We can go ahead and look at the log. And as you can see, various commits from throughout this project cycle and whatnot. Here's the one where I finished the project. Right. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed my project.